up there, cyber friends? It's Mitty Man coming right back at you again with yet another word for the day. I normally don't come back, immediately back and do another video like this. But I did. I saw someone that I think got a misunderstanding of something that I've said in one of my videos. And like I told you, I don't argue over scripture, but if anyone doesn't understand or maybe get or misquote me or whatnot, or get a misrepresentation for something I've said, I try to come back and clear it up, because I don't want to be responsible for no one being misled. It was said that I said that I was making a mistake in saying that the tithing principle come from the tree, from one tree, because I didn't know how many trees was in the garden. People, I don't think I'm sorry that person got that misunderstanding. I never said anything about the tithe and being a tree. Or no one knows how many trees was in the garden, just like you don't know how many trees in these woods around here. Not really, unless you go out there and count them. And who's going to do something like that? I didn't say, and I didn't. If you got that understanding of that, I was meaning that the tithing principle was based on a tree, then you need to go back and listen to my video again. And to make that statement, I said, if anybody, and I think everybody from the fam know, if you remember what I said I made a point. In other words, as an example, I used that as an example to show an illustration of the tithing principle. And for the person that that heard the video and they saw the video and they listened to it, Mitty Man is well aware that a tithe can be more than just money. Mitty Man is well aware of that, and I challenge you to go back and listen to the video again, if you will. But I know, I'm sorry if you got misled. Mitty Man made no indication of that the tithing principle being a tree, and made that statement. That's where it come from. I used that as an illustration to show that it is a type of, it's something that belongs to God, and God didn't want us to have. He had given man the whole garden, but man wanted the tree. And I used that as an example of to show how you can mess up the one thing trying to grab a hold to one thing. In other words, it's if you look in the book of Malachi, where we get this from, he said, will a man rob God? And yeah, you have robbed me in my tithe and offering. Bring ye all the tithe and offering in my house, so there may be meat in my house. There may be meat in my house. See, we well aware of the scripture. We want you to know that. But what I was getting at was, and I think I had a few more comments that people that really understood the speech. I was saying I used the garden because everything started in the garden, and I used that as an example to show, whereas God gave man the whole garden, but except for this one tree, he told him don't touch that, leave that alone. And I used that as a principle. See, the tithe belonged to God too. He said, "Well, you may rob me, yet you have robbed me." So when you said it was 10%, so okay, that's cool. And they gave free willing, right? That's where you should give too, free willing. There's a lot of people that goes and give that 10%, but it's not free willing. So you might as well keep it. That's why I said I use that as an example to show how we don't keep what, in other words, when we try to hold back the giving, it's just like we trying to get in the garden. We had the whole garden, but we wanted the tree. So we got the tree, God took back the garden. Just like he said, will a man rob God? So I use that as an illustration of a type. That's what I said, type of illustration to show the tithing principle. But as far as that concerned, you're right, I agree with you. It don't have to be money. Your tithe can be your time, food. In a lot of cases, it was that in Bible days. So we don't try to, like I said, don't play spiritual volleyball, and you don't argue scripture, but you need to clear it up. And if someone have taken something that you said, you know, whatever, you need to clear it up, because you don't want to lead nobody into error. But a lot of times what I do, this is what Mitty Man does. When I read, when I listen to statements, I listen to sermons, or anybody, I listen very carefully. and I decipher what they say, and I get what they mean. A lot of times when you in your regular church services, I'm quite sure your pastor had got up and been preaching one thing, and he said and quoted the scripture for somewhere else, but it wasn't nowhere connected to what his theme was about. But you automatically knew what he was talking about. You didn't stop him in his sermon and start telling him, no, that's not right. You mean this and you mean that. You don't do that. I think you get what I'm talking about. But at any rate, we sorry that people, that there was a little cloudiness in that little issue, and that we hope that clears it up. This is Mitty Man saying peace. Goodbye.